or rather 2 points of information on that speech. Yeah, delegates, please switch your videos on. Please, it's a request that you switch your videos on. Yeah, right. So we'll be entertaining two POIs on that. One obviously would be from the representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the next would be from the vegetable vendor.
Thank you, sir. So my question to the businessman is that sir mentioned that we were forcing to everyone to donate it, but the thing is we didn't go to everyone's home and put guns at their head and said that you need to donate it. It was just out of humanity that they would donate it. And secondly, my question is that the objectives of this PM Cares Fund was very much clear, that it was used to improve and better the situation. And how do you believe that the health infrastructure was improved to such a huge extent? And this was because of the PM Cares Fund. The PM Care Fund is being utilized for the benefit of the public. How do you justify your calling the PM Cares Fund a cheat fund when it is for the betterment of the people, and even it's being audited and put up on the websites of the designated websites?
So, sir, to answer your question, sir, you never pointed a gun at our heads, but sir, we being common people are patriotic towards our country, and when the government who is governing the country ask for donating a sum of money to, and says that they will use it for bettering the situation that is caused due to the COVID pandemic, then sir, out of patriotism, sir, we people from the small families have donated some of money so that you could help us. And sir, first of all, secondly, sir, if you have used it, if you have used the money to strengthen the health sectors, then sir, what is the point of hiding it, sir? You can easily show how you are using it or where you are using it, but sir, you aren't. So how are we supposed to know that you are using that money for a good cause and you're not actually running a cheat fund that I mentioned in my speech? And sir, thirdly, to answer your question, sir, the thing is, what I wanted to say is that how can we know you are not altering the money? Because sir, many actors, many businessmen, they have donated large sum of monies, right? They have donated large sum of monies to the government, and if you are not willing to and if you are not if you are not willing to show us how you are using it, sir, we being the common people, we can assume that it is some kind of a way to alter the black money into white money. Why can't we assume that, being common people?
All right. Also, delegates, please keep your answers short. That was a speech. No follow-ups. Also, delegate of the Bharatiya Janata Party, please turn on your video.
Sir, I'm very sorry, but it is on my part.
But from our side, it's not showing up. Please check that. Farmer, please turn on your video. Yes, the representative of the INC, what was your point of personal privilege?
Okay, the personal privilege that I did the delegate of BJP in his question, businessman say that the funds were being used in the medical sector. If he said that, then can the details be provided to the committee as to how and how much it is being used to help the medical sector?
First, delegate, that is not a point of personal privilege. That was a question itself. Point of personal privilege is a clarification if you could not hear something, but you are asking for justifications.
Okay, sorry, sir. Did he say or did he not? The statement that I mentioned.
Yeah, that can be cleared, please. Delegate.
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, that is his answer. So the next speaker is the vegetable vendor.
I had a point of point of information.
Oh, all right. You have been recognized. So sorry. Yeah. Please.
Yes, Chair. May I continue?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir. Sir, you mentioned the fact that it's a cheat fund, but why do you think that a legally registered fund under the Registration Act of 1908 at New Delhi on 27th March 2020 can be a cheat fund, though it has been registered legally, and its money has been segregated into three parts, one of which has gone to that Make in India thing, another one has gone to has been allotted to migrant laborers, and 100 crore has been gone to vaccine development at institute in Pune.
Sir, first of all, to answer your question, sir, you are a vegetable vendor, right? So, how many of the you know about that? But how many of the other vegetable vendors know that it has been legally registered, or how it is being used? Because we
Delegate, 1 second. Sorry to interrupt, but this particular answer or the question asked by the president, that was a joke, right? That was not a legitimate question. He said that I'm going to ask a question that is going to contribute to the progress, and he did exactly the opposite. So that was a sarcastical comment, and this kind of questions or answers are certainly not encouraged, because what a vegetable vendor might know or not know is not something which another particular profession can question. It's completely on the delegate, and a particular delegate has been chosen here to represent his community because he is knowledgeable enough. So the question of knowledge should not be brought in. What the president did was a sarcastical humor or a sarcastical comment in that regard. So please do not go on that line with regards to the questions and the answers.
Okay, so now because I mentioned it was due to the transparency issue that was caused due to the PM Care funds, because it was not transparent. That's why I went to the extent of calling it a cheat fund, right?
All right, that's his answer. No follow-ups. The next speaker, yes. Yes, farmer, please turn your video on. If you are here, delegate, diplomat, exactly.
So my video.
It's not showing up on my screen. Anyhow, but please
So,
do the
but
needful from your end, okay? Because I know it's very difficult for me to coordinate as well in this regard. Yeah, now it's showing. Fine. We'll move on. The next speaker is the vegetable vendor. You have the floor.
Chair, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible and
First of all, I'd like to kick off with the fact that this PM Care Fund has been registered as a public charitable trust. The trust deed of the PM Care Fund has been registered legally under the Registration Act 1908 at New Delhi on 27 March 2020. This fund has collected 3,100 crore and has been allocated to three different segments. First segment of 2,000 crores for supply of 50,000 made in India ventilators to government hospitals run by center, state or union territories. 1,000 crore for state for care of migrant laborers, funds allotted to state or union territory governments. 100 crores for development of vaccine at an institute in Pune. Now, this is a fund which is similar to the PMNRF fund, which is used for assisting victims of natural calamities, accidents, riots, etc. But this fund has been solely created for the purpose to help in to provide aid in public health crises such as COVID-19. It renders financial assistance, provides grants of payments of money, or takes such other steps as may needed by the board of trustees to administer the cause and reduce the effect of COVID-19. This has certain benefits, like it also provides the benefit of exemption from paying income tax as per the section 10 23 section part C of Income Tax Act 1961.
all right. Points well noted. Judging by the nature of the speech, I don't think any questions would be entertained on that. So we'll be recognizing more speakers at this point. Delegates who are wishing to speak. Musician. followed by the diplomat, followed by the journalist, guys, please don't spam. Representative YNC, don't spam. Just write your name once. Also, delegate of the representative of Bharatiya Janata Party, you had your right to, like,
Yes,
you
sir. I put up
you
my
reserved your right to
name.
speak.
Yes, sir.
So please make sure that
Sir,
Doctor.
am I recognized?
No, you want to be recognized at this point.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine.
Sir, I've sent my names previously also, but
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more speaker. That would be the lawyer. So the speakers who have been recognized are the musician, diplomat, journalist, doctor, representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the lawyer. And that would be the end of this moderated caucus with 10 speakers. All right. So, vegetable vendor, you had a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, Chair. Actually, I wanted to ask, like, in which part are we? Like, are we still in the moderated caucus or not?
Yes, we are in the moderated caucus.
Okay, Chair. Thank you.
Fine. So we'll move on. The next speaker on the list is the musician. You have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
Firstly, BJP has been saying that the donation is a voluntary donation. But then why have been they taking 1 day salary of all government employees till the next year, March 2021 per month? That's 12 days of salary, which is almost a 40% of a monthly salary. And they say that it is voluntary. Government circulars show that the deductions were made directly from salaries, and the those who were unwilling had to go through a procedure and had to refusal in writing. Then what is the point of saying it a voluntary donation? Then what was the need of creating another fund when there was already PMNRF and it had a huge sum of money, 3,800 crores in it? Then why was that National Relief Fund, which is same as the PM CARES, was not continued and PM CARES was created? So, yeah, the authority behind PM CARES Fund. By denying PM CARES Fund, the status of public authority is only reasonable to interfere that it is not controlled by the government. If that is the case, who is controlling it? The name, the composition of the trust control, usage of emblem, government, domain, name, everything signifies that it is a public authority. By simply ruling that it is not a public authority and denying the application of RTI Act, the government has constructed walls of secrecy around it. So I would like to conclude that PM CARES Fund is the same as electoral bonds for elections with no transparency.
All right. Before we move on to the points of information, delegates, please acknowledge the presence of Boishali ma'am. Yes, please turn on your videos and you can clap. Yeah. All right. So we'll be entertaining one point of information on the speech given by the musician. Diplomat, you have been recognized.
Sir, according to your statement that you made it necessary that the PM CARE funds are not necessary, the Supreme Court on Tuesday held that the funds received in the PM CARE funds need not be credited to be as the National Disaster Response NDRF for the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. The PM CARE funds, according to as a BJP representative here, I strongly oppose that the BJP created it just so that the people could generate generously only for the COVID-19 pandemic as of now, and since And even though the PM and NDRF funds contained a mere sum of 3,800 crores, as you already mentioned, the PM care funds have been able to collect 10,000 crores in just a span of short term period. Looking at how the generosity the people have been promoting. So how do you justify that the PM care funds is not a very good thing to do?
Delegate, before you answer that, please keep your questions short, please. That was a speech.
Yeah.
You do not need to justify your question. Yes, Delegate, go on.
I mentioned that in the PM NRF, there was a use of money 3,800 crores, which could have been the sum of money which has been collected in PM cares could have been collected in PM NRF.
All right, that is his answer. The next speaker is the diplomat. You have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
The Ayojana the government portrayed as a very humble choice and a good motive too is the initiative of the PM care funds. Now the question is it is a scam or a real? Therefore, according to the Hindu and Congress, it seemed to as a scam. And since me, the believer of the BJP and a representative here, I oppose it's not. But however, when the Prime Minister's office has clarified that the PM care funds, which has attracted a huge sum of donations to handle the challenges arising from the COVID-19 crisis, it is not a public authority. This, even though the Prime Minister is the ex-officio chairman of the trust and the 3 cabinet ministers are his trustees, by denying it as a public authority, it is only reasonable to interfere that is not controlled by the government. If that is the case, who is controlling it? Is the question that lies here. The name, the competition of the trust, control, usage of emblem, everything signifies it is a public authority. By simply ruling it is not a public authority and denying the application of RTI Act, the government has constructed walls of secrecy around it. This is not about the lack of transparency and denying the application of the RTI Act to promote. But however, since the PM care has been able to justify more of its funds has been attracted to the healthcare facilities, the mere sum of 10,000 crores, according to me, I suggest should be used properly. Only a mere sum of 500 crores were utilized, and the remaining 9,500 crores are yet to be utilized. If that is the fact, we need proper sources of information on how is the government willing to use the remaining 9,500 crores properly for the benefits of the Indian people and not for useless consumptions like $2.1 billion being spent on 22 unexpected and unrequested aircrafts. Therefore, I urge the delegate, that the representative of BJP, to provide us with a proper authentical report of how is the government planning to use the funds. Thank you.
All right, we won't be entertaining any POIs on that speech. The next speaker on the list is the journalist. You have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
Since we have already established that the PM CARES fund has not been very transparent with the citizens of the country, I'd like to speak about the legality of the policies adopted by the PM CARES fund. So, since the advent of the PM CARES fund, which the government says is an offshoot of the PMNRF, that is the Prime Minister PMNRF, the nature of private trust still cannot justify the denial of information to the public under the provisions of law. Section 19 of the Indian Trust Act mandates the trustees to present full and accurate information of the amount and state of the trust property to the beneficiaries. Because any private trust the Prime Minister heads are created for the benefit of the public at large. Every citizen is a consecutive beneficiary, and hence the private trust is a public charity under Section 92 of the Code of Civil Procedure. Consequently, such public charities are amenable to judicial administration upon application by 2 or more members of the public. Hence, a decree can be sought seeking alteration in the composition of trustees, directing disclosure of trust accounts, or even redirecting trust property, Cyprus. Notwithstanding this, the sweeping privacy protection extended to such funds is legally suspicious as it enables the government to run an account immune from the constitutional rigors of parliamentary regulation under Article 283, exempt from audit by the Comptroller and Auditor General under Article 151 and fair public disclosure under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. An effort was made earlier this month in Manohar Lal Sharma versus Narendra Damodar Das Modi to assail PM CARES on the ground that the fund was created without following constitutional procedures, even though it was registered later on, dealing with the Consolidated Fund of India and the Contingency Fund of India. However, the petition was summarily dismissed by the Supreme Court as lacking merit. Hence, it is quite evident that the PM CARES fund is not absolutely transparent with the
We won't
contributors
make
of
any
this
further
fund,
questions.
and hence I would like to question.
If you have any other questions, just write it down in the group itself. I assure you that it would be marked.
So can I like address a POI in the group itself?
Yeah, you can do that, absolutely. In the WhatsApp group, just write it down. Yes, so the last speaker of the moderated caucus is the lawyer. You have the floor for the next 60 seconds.
Greetings, delegate. On the day the PM CARE was set up, a massive humanitarian crisis began to unfold in India. Millions of migrant workers, some of India's poorest persons, began fleeing in the cities after the lockdown Modi imposed in the country. For weeks, they have walked hundreds of miles, hunger and thirst to reach their villages. More than 1,000 died. It was thought that the government would spend at least some of money helping those forced to travel, but that did not happen, prompting one opposition to MP to reban the fund. The PM does not really care. In the weeks since the fund was set up, questions have also been asked about how it is constituted and managed, how the money has been collected from whom, and how it has been put to use. There are no answers to any of these queries on the PM CARES website, and the PM Minister's Office, PMO, which is managing the fund, has refused to provide any information. Now, opposition politics, the independent activists and journalists are asking whether the government has anything to hide, whether the government is hiding something, or petitions are filed under the Right to Information Act and in court seeking more transparency. But so far, the fund has avoided by any public scrutiny by insisting that PM CARES fund is not a public authority, which means it is not controlled or substantially financed by the government and so does not come under the RTI Act. It also means that it cannot be scrutinized by the government officials. But don't you think that the PM CARES fund should be made public, because all our donations are going, many big businessmen and many big industrialists are donating in this fund. Don't you think it is for us for a general knowledge, or it is for our own benefit, who are helping us in the situation, in a pandemic situation, who are helping us, or who are helping the poor people, who are inspiring you, which can inspire many of youth or many other people who are not donating right now. Thank you.
All right, delegates, with that, we have come to the end of this moderated caucus. But
Will QI be recognized on the speech of Mr. Lawyer?
No, delegate, no POIs on that speech. But before we move on, there would be an update, all right, after which either you can like go on with the debate or you can have an unmoderated caucus as well, completely up to you guys. So basically, the update is that the Uttar Pradesh government has made a public announcement that they would be trying to close the Hathras rape case, saying that it was not a rape, and they would be even they have even filed a plea in the Supreme Court saying that this particular case should not be carried on further. So yes, you can address that in any form, in the form of a moderated caucus, GSL, whatever. You can even have informal forms of debate like round robin or open floor. Completely up to you guys. Yes, delegate.
So I have
No, I was just asking for open.
Wait. I'll finish. Then you guys can ask all the questions.
So for the question, was this
Wait,
statement made
wait,
by the
wait.
Chief Minister of
Let
Uttar
me
Pradesh?
finish. Let me finish. After which you ask your questions. So that is the update. I will write down the update as well in a more formal manner because I just said it verbally out. I'll write it in the group. After which you guys decide whether you want to have a mod cock or not, mod cock or unmod cock, whatever.
So
So
can we
yeah,
have a SSL on the update?
special speakers list. I don't think it's necessary in a citizens dialogue forum.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, wait. I'll just type it down. After which, no, we have exhausted the moderated caucus, right? So we'll return back to the GSL.
So can
So-
I please come up?
Oh
Can
yeah,
I-
the questions. Yeah. Sorry.
So
So
was the
any
statement
question?
made by the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh?
Which dignitary or which position has stated is not mentioned. It's just said that the government has made a public announcement.
So the government is BJP we are talking about, right? Right.
Yeah, the government of Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, sir. Let's.
Sir, could you please send the update in the group?
Yeah. I'll write it down. So we'll return back to the GSL. Are there any other questions, firstly, on the update or regarding anything? The point of parliamentary inquiry, personal privilege? No, then we'll move on. We return back to the GSL. The next speaker on the general speakers list is the representative of the Indian National Congress. Also, guys, if you want to add your name to the general speakers list, just write down your portfolio / general speakers list.
So shall I start?
Yes. Very good.
Yeah. Since the COVID has started, our lives have changed drastically over the course of these months. Lockdowns, work from homes, online classes have all made way into our daily lives. At this point of time, what we needed from the government was proper planning and support, which we did not get, unfortunately. Just like the Notebandi a few years back, the Gharbandi was a decision with a good intent, but a bad planning by the government, which also reminds us of the actions of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who also had good intents in his mind, but did not have the proper planning to carry out those decisions. The government had no proper plan of action, just like I've stated before, and made sudden 4-hour notices. And like it has been stated by several citizens in this committee, Narendra Modi had given people 3 days notice to beat pots and pans, and given the BJP at that time ample time to organize a show of strength. But for the lockdown, he gave less than 4 hours. The delegate of BJP has came and told that the death rates has increased during COVID. But what about the cases increasing in the migrant sectors? What about the trucks carrying goods, including essential supplies and perishables, which were stopped at state borders? How were these truck drivers supposed to reach home within a 4-hour span that was given to them? How was this then? No, nothing of this thought was thought by the BJP government, because the BJP's worldview is that of the upper class. It targets the well-off traders who can just take a few days of work and find the way in sitting at their home and guaranteed livelihood from their salaries. But what about the different migrant workers, the different people in need? Like the government, like the BJP has stated that it used the PM Cares Fund. I would like to put emphasis that the PM Cares Fund had come under the CSR initiative, which helped private companies donate heavily to this fund. But the chief minister's funds, which were set up because the states also required high number of funds because the increase in COVID cases, they did not get grant for adding private companies were not allowed to fund in these state funds. The PM Cares Fund was not used for laborers and migrant workers, and I would like to clear this out, or health workers. In fact, as we believe, they were used to arrange free rides for upper middle class people and the migrant workers who took the Shramik special trains in certain states were heavily taxed. the government had told that these trains would be heavily taxed with excessive subcharges on these trains that were put for the migrant workers. And instead, the PM Cares Fund, which audit has been provided apparently, that audit is for the total sum amount collected. But that we know that the sum amount has been collected, it has been stored, but how is it being used? Nothing sort of that has yet been revealed. In fact, like I've stated, the government, the BJP government told that they're using to develop the healthcare facility. Let me tell you that the places in states where the low income people were there in hospitals used ventilators. Yes. So used ventilators were used and no new facilities were provided. And hence you must understand the government did not do it best and should open up and be more transparent regarding the situation at hand.
All right. Since you have exhausted the time, we would not be entertaining any POIs. But if you have one, you can write it down in the group. Regarding the update, I have sent it in the group. Also, one more thing, the Supreme Court part, which I said, that would not be included. No plea was made. I take back that verbatim. Only the government of UP has made a public announcement. All right, no decision has been made. Just a minister has made a public announcement regarding it. And one more thing, guys, this is a hypothetical update. Please don't take it seriously. This did not happen in the real world. So yes, your solution should be right, but delegate, you have exceeded your time by a huge margin. I said stop, but anyhow, fine. Please keep it in mind that the statements that you make after I have said that, like after you have given your concluding statements and all, they won't be like marked upon. So please keep this in mind. But
Actually,
yeah.
I couldn't hear anything. I guess internet issue.
Oh, fine. But please keep a track of time next time onwards.
Okay,
No
okay.
problem. So, yeah, we won't be entertaining any questions on that. If you have, please use the group. The next speaker on the general speakers list is the lawyer. Are you with us, delegate? Seems like not. So we'll move on to.
Sorry, sir. I was having. Excuse me. I was.
Oh,
having actually.
Sir,
Sorry.
a point of personal
Very sorry
privilege.
for that.
Chair, has my name been recognized in the GSL?
Yes, I'll repeat the GSL list once again. Please note it down. We have the lawyer, followed by the vegetable vendor, followed by the farmer, followed by the diplomat, followed by the musician, and the representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So yeah.
Let's start.
Yes.
Greetings, delegate. When the news about spread of COVID-19 and deaths poured in January, consider our dependence on China. The National Disaster Management Agency and National Centers for Disease Control should have sprung up into action when the first case outside China was reported in Thailand on 13 January 2020. I would like to mention some of the steps the Indian government should have taken to restrict so many COVID cases in India. First of all, they should have screened all passengers with a travel history to China from 15 December 2019 and Thailand, effective 1st January 2020. Second, on 30 January 2020, when the WHO declared COVID-19 as a public health emergency of international concern, India should have locked down all the international arrivals immediately and should have invoked the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. As on 2020, that there were 76,000 cases of COVID-19 all over the world, and India was still waiting and watching. Given that the senior citizens were at a higher risk at this disease, we should put senior travelers under compulsory isolation. Immediately, they should have stopped exports of PPE kits and given direction to manufacture the same for local need should it spread in India. They should prepare isolation beds in districts where travelers from abroad were having a contact history with China and other affected countries. This data is available at the Immigration Department. If the lockdown had happened in 30th January, the number would be lesser compared to the lockdown that was affecting the last week of March instead of the last week of January. A delay of 2 months responding to this public health emergency is a cause for serious concern, which gives a reason to consider appointing a Union Minister of State in charge of public exclusively. BJP in its election manifesto had promised to set up an institute of big data analytics for predictive science. If that was done, we could have a clear trajectory based on predictive models of the impact and the preparedness need. Still,
Delegate,
the
wrap
time
up.
to okay. We have the prime minister who believes in action, but bureaucracy remains more or less the same when it comes to impact on the ground. But today we know we could be directionless with the crisis led to an explosion of flesh cases and lockdown extended for a few weeks. That's what is expected of a fearless leader, which is no doubt PM Modi. Thank you.
All right. He has exhausted his time, so we won't be entertaining any point of information.
Sir, point of personal privilege.
Yes, delegate.
Sir, a question has been sent to me by the INC delegation, which is two-way in unformation or very ill-manneredly presented. Could you just reframe it and send? I can't understand the question itself. Like the format isn't stick to.
Delegate, please do the needful. Just highlight.
Which of
Yeah.
the questions is he talking about?
So just the
Just
last
highlight.
question.
Just highlight the text. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a question. Okay.
So
Fine.
who was speaking now? I just sorry forgot.
The lawyer. So yes, at this point, I think we'll be looking forward for motions, but just a question informally to the committee. What do you guys have decided? Like, do you want to have a paperwork of any kind or just discussion?
So
just discussion. We have
Just
decided two agendas. If one is business discussion, then second one.
So we have several Modcog topics to discuss. Like we had prepared them.
All right. So, like, do you guys have a particular set plan of action for this committee, or do you guys want me to intervene, give more updates? Like, you want?
So we have a plan of action, but you can give
We have a
update.
plan of action.
So we have a plan of action
have a
ready
plan
back
of
to
action.
us. But then you can always
Also give us
like,
updates, sir.
would be
We are ready
helpful.
for updates.
Updates will be better.
Yes, update would be really helpful.
So, but we have a plan of action.
Yes, sir, we have.
All right. Since I just gave an update, I won't give an update as of now. So let's see what you guys have in mind. Are there any motions on the floor? But also keep one thing in mind that it's 12:30 now, and the committee would break for lunch at 1 p.m. So please raise the motion according
Point of
to.
personal privilege, sir. Could the GSL be continued because we don't have much time left, and I don't think in this motion everyone will be sufficed.
No. We can have a moderated caucus in half an hour, or
We have
an
only 10 speakers, right?
or an unmoderated caucus as well, if you guys want to have it. So yeah. Anyhow, whatever you guys have in mind, let's see. So motions. Only one motion.
More motions were proposed before this.
Yeah. It's now showing up.
5 motions.
Diplomat, followed by doctor, followed by vegetable vendor. Diplomat, your motion.
Motion to suspend formal debate and move into a moderate caucus on the topic migrant workers condition. First speaker time being 1 minute, total speakers time being 12 minutes.
Total speaker time being?
12 minutes.
Can you reduce it down to 10?
Okay, sir. No problem. No issues.
1 is to 10. All right. The next delegate recognized.
Same.
Same. The last delegate recognized.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Motion to suspend formal debate and move into a moderate caucus. Topic being possible ways to revive the GDP with special emphasis on problems faced due to the pandemic. Per speaker time being 1 minute, total speaker time being 12 minutes.
Can you reduce it down to 10?
Yes, sir.
1:10. So, are there any different motions apart from these two?
No.
All right. BJP, I think, has a different motion.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
delegate.
Motion to suspend formal debate and move into open floor for the next 8 minutes, discussing the economy of the country during corona pandemic.
Can you increase the time to 10?
Yes, sir, surely.
All right.
So just a suggestion. Can the
Yes.
topic of my moderate caucus be changed from devastating situation of migrant laborers to devastating situation of migrant laborers, other backward and poor classes caused due to the pandemic?
All right. Please note the change, delegates.
So, point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Sir, it's only a question sir, as per the UNA USA, I think so open floors are not accepted but the EB has discretion on accepting it.
No, see, open floor is not allowed in any form of debate. It's called an informal form of debating for a reason. It's not a part of formal procedure. It's basically done by the executive board to foster more debate, to make the debate more interesting. So it's not a part of any procedure, H1 or UN Foreman, nothing. So yeah, but still it's used in the circuit very popularly
Sir,
just
are
to
we
foster debate.
so sir, are you going to allow open floor
Yes,
right
yes,
now?
absolutely. Yes. And moreover, this is a dialogue forum. This is not supposed to have even UNA USA. This is just supposed to be a discussion. So we are, yeah.
Sir, a point
So
of
why?
parliamentary inquiry. Sir, could
Yes,
you
sir.
please elaborate on the open floor format?
Open floor format. Yes, the way we'll go about open floor is uh, someone starts to speak. So now the one who raised the motion would be the first speaker. Now he would start to speak. Now the thing is, he'll go on speaking until and unless he has finished off all his points, or I think he's now becoming vague. Like when I feel I can change the speaker. Now the way this works is, if you feel that a certain point made by the delegate while he's speaking is very controversial, you can write down in capital letters interjection in the chat box. For example, suddenly INC says that we have no faith in the BJP government. All right. So the delegate, the representative of the BJP or anyone else can write interjection. So once I see that there is an interjection, or I feel that the interjection is very pertinent, only then will I recognize the interjection. If there are no interjections, I will just change the speakers according to my wish. You guys have to write down your portfolio names from before itself, but don't spam. All right. If you guys want to speak, just write down your name.
Sir, I had a personal privilege acquired.
Yeah.
So will the chits group be open while the break?
Open during the break? No.
So
You can't
please,
write.
I have 30 questions to be answered and I can't answer during the committee. I can't able, I'm not able to hear the speech if I go on answering it.
But then again, all right. If you want to answer, then it's fine. But do
Thank
not
you
ask
so much,
questions.
sir.
Recognize
Sure.
the question. So yeah. All right. So we'll move on to the voting of the motions. According to the order of disruption, we'll vote on the open floor first. It's an open floor for 10 minutes. I hope the procedure is understood, or do you guys want me to explain it once again? Vegetable vendor?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, all right. Wait,
Sir.
let me write vote first. Then start voting. Yes, BJP, you were saying something.
No, sir, I was saying your internet lagged. We weren't able to hear you.
So let me write vote. Now you guys can start voting. Oh my God. One, two, three, 4.
Sir, 5 yes, 4 no.
not everybody is voting.
So what is the strength of the committee?
It's supposed to be 11.
So it's 10 right now.
Oh yeah, it's 10 right now. Yeah, but on the list that I had sent, it was 11. So someone did not attend or left. I don't know. But there are still abstentions.
So I believe teacher is not there.
Yes, teacher is not there. Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll go with majority, that is 5 yeses, the open floor passes. So yeah, we have to go with simple majority because the attendance is very less, and obviously one of the delegate did not attend, so we have to go with majority itself, simple majority. So the motion passes. We are in an open floor. The representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party would be the first speaker. Just to remind you, an open floor does not have any particular topic as such, so you can speak about anything and everything. And moreover, this is a citizens dialogue forum, so you are not bound by the topic. However, stick to the umbrella agenda, at least to sum it up. So yes, the representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party, you can start.
Thank you, sir. So let's start with the economy of the country during pandemic. The lockdown was an imperative thing which was bound to the government by every situation it faced. The lockdown was forceful, but during the pandemic, the economy had suffered contraction, and it was pretty obvious because it isn't just India who suffered economic contraction, but the entire world suffered economic contractions due to several reasons, which is known to all. In spite of all these, the government extended its help to the people to the maximum it could. The government extended the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana for free ration over 80 crores, making sure that no one, not even a single person, felt asleep with a empty stomach. Aside this, the government launched a number of schemes and extended a number of schemes for the benefit of the citizens. And when the several people talk of economy, we must understand, when several people talk of the $5 trillion economy, what we must understand is that we faced an unforeseen, unexpected situation which wasn't expected during the tenure of 2025. So that was the aim, but still we aim and hope that we would. Yes, sir, thank you.
Yes. So being a doctor, I know that the poor patient belonging from the rural areas of the rural places of India are in a need of hospital beds. They require the proper care and also need life supporting machines. Like here, the representative of the BJP party is saying that we are helping the poor people with money. But in such cases, I am seeing that the poor people are though they are having less cases, but the death rate in the poor places is more. Why? Because they cannot go to the private hospital, which are 75% in India, and 25% are only government hospitals. In government hospitals, when the poor people go, definitely we have a clear image that in the government hospitals the sanitization and the medication is not provided properly. That is definitely sure. And in the private hospitals, the money bill is so high that the poor people cannot afford that. So this is the simple reason that means not okay.
Journalist.
The COVID-19 pandemic has left the economy in shambles. The probable causes of this are that entrepreneurs, businessmen in the current situation do not have surplus funds or credit to offer, thus making budget cuts and cost cutting an imperative in the job market. Due to budget cuts, intensive and extensive labor retrenchment took place, which led to massive unemployment in the job market, both in the rural and urban landscapes. Budget cuts also closed all existing channels for the recruitment of new employees, which heightened the unemployment scenario in the country. MNCs and larger enterprises were able to sustain themselves and their employees owing to the huge annual turnover that they earn, which not only aided them financially, but also helped them without the lack of any backup plan amid such an unforeseen global crisis. However, small businesses and the
During a lockdown, the people most affected were the migrant workers, the daily wages, and the marginal farmers. A belatedly announced economic package by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaram did very little to give immediate relief to those who needed it the most. People in essential services were not allowed to move around, and even if they were harassed and lathi charged by the police. Public transport was shut. And how was a basic sanitation worker supposed to travel? How was the
Interjection
doctor?
recognized. BJP.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, does the representative of the INC realize when he says that the scheme released by the government isn't actually benefiting whom it should? Whereas we can see that several people have come up and saying that this helped them a lot, and we can even see the beneficiaries very evidently. We make sure that no one is left hungry. Secondly, what we must also make sure is that for the missing data that several people have complained of, what comes into play is that the state government for the no
Vegetable
data on
vendor.
the,
Sir, 1 minute. Yes, sure. First of all, we must understand the fact that we as vegetable vendors have been affected the most. Right, we have lost our only source of income and hence have become unable to afford 3 square meals per day. There have been even days when we had to starve, and because our income had come to a standstill. Nowadays, various grain and vegetable markets are being shut down randomly under the facade of unhygienic and improper sanitary setup. But we must understand that these are the very places where our daily means of income arise. Also, we must understand that there are certain political stunts and fiascos regarding providing aid to us, the backward classes, like the PM Care Funds, PM National Relief Funds, etc. But we must understand that 100 crores is quite insufficient for a body of 50 lakh vendors who have been evicted from their jobs, some permanently, in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Diplomat.
Right?
Yes.
When we speak about the collapse of the economy, it has suffered. It would be wrong to blame the government wholly, as it is not a government's fault, right? It had to grant numerous expenditure that were useless. Yes, delegates have become a little sarcastic over there, but as the old saying, the truth hurts. The government imposed so much lockdown in the country that it was ill-planned in a manner that the economy suffered a huge backdrop. The lockdown meant to curb the virus, but indeed led to a sapping of jobs and business, and people lost jobs like the speed of fire, and many business went bankrupt.
Businessman, you have been recognized.
Okay. Why introduced Beti Bachao Beti Padhao when they are going to be when they are going to be suppressing the woman? Why introduce educational schemes when the one governing the country is uneducated? Why create PM Care Fund when we don't know how is our money being used? We want answers. We want justice. During the lockdown, when our brothers and laborers that are
International Congress.
Yeah, since BJP talked about how it is providing funds, let me now say what it has done regarding the funds. US had a relief package amounting to 10% of its GDP. Germany had a package amounting to 5% of its GDP. Japan has even higher percentage. India's relief package, which was announced in 2 phases, was just about 1% of the GDP, and the 5 kg of additional food grains per head per month, which was promised by the BJP government to 80% of the population, only reached only to a fraction of them because the BJP government insisted on identity proof of each and every individual, and hence the most.
Firstly, the economic collapse is not only due to the pandemic. It has been going since the 2017. The BJP government's false, defective policies such as demonetization and all have been affecting since long back. The COVID-19 has just dealt the final blow of it. We can see the unemployment in the country had been a problem since 2017, and it had been and it has been in the high due to in the COVID pandemic.
Wait, what happened? Did the musician leave?
yeah. I
Oh,
think
अच्छा,
so.
network issue. All right, all right. Lawyer.
After years of toil, at least in a few practices, we have earned a stellar leadership reputation to be the best companies in law firms from across the world hire us. With the COVID-19 storm brewing over the world, however, our pace and peace have been disrupted. We all are grasping for breath and fighting for the survival in this new crisis, which a nation like Great Britain describes as the lowest economic position in 300 years. All the existing law firms and legal service retainers of the companies will be tested toward this bedrock criteria laid down by the business. Like every other relationship, the ones built on mutual trust, perseverance, and resilience will survive the test of time. The legal profession will not remain untouched by this new relationship strategism. As some experts, clients will
Bhartiya
summer.
Janata Party.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, when the INC comes up and misled the country that USA it was 10%, Germany was 5%, and India it was just 1%, he must also take into consideration that the total cumulative courses were also very less in India that were about, while that were about triple in USA, the mortality rates had huge drastic differences. So we allocated the amount, the percentage of GDP according to the needs of the people. We can't just allocate when it is not required. Secondly, certain people come up and say that economy had suffered great losses not just due to the pandemic. It was in the economy was about to prosper, and we were also almost very much near to our dream by the 2025. But this pandemic created such a unforeseen, unexpected situation that we were bound to stop certain things which were happening to reach that dream. But certainly, we still.
You are saying that the economy had fallen due to the pandemic. You don't know that during the time of NRC and CA also the GDP had fallen very high spike. There was a high spike in the fall of the economy during the NRC and CA time. And during this, and you are just using this advantage and just using the advantage of lockdown and saying that the economy had fallen because of these lockdowns and COVID pandemic. You should use your economy to promote the business education for people and promote them for promoting their own personal economy by investing in various places. This would help them improve their own financial condition, and by this the country would also get more taxes, and this would be much more better for improving the economy than to buy useless raffles in this time of COVID. In this time you should support your own people and just improve the economy instead of looking for wars with the other countries. You should look with your diplomat and try to solve the cases with China silently and not with the wars. During this time, this is the economy is to be maintained more important. The thing that the economy is to be maintained is more important. And one more thing you could do, that is you could provide employment to the people on online platforms so that the GDP of India could boost and people could easily pursue the financial household needs. Thank you.
Sir, I believe.
Chairperson, are you there?
Yes, sir. Are you there?
I think he is having network.
He's having some
Sir, he's having
network
network problem. Let's wait.
or left. Or left. Let's wait for him.
Oh, sorry,
Sir,
sorry,
join.
I got disconnected.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Sir, I had
yeah.
an interjection in the doctor's speech.
Wait, I could not even hear the doctor's speech. I
Should
could
I
not
say it
hear.
again?
Yes, doctor, just restart if possible.
Okay, so I was basically saying that during this time India's GDP has been like the representative of BJP had been saying that the economy had fallen due to COVID pandemic, but they don't know that during the NRC and CA time also the GDP had fallen a high spike. There was a high spike in the falling of the GDP during the time of NRC and CA also. It is very wrong that they are just taking the advantage and saying that due to the lockdowns and the COVID the economy had fallen. Second thing, they could just promote the free business education for people and promote them for promoting their own personal economy by investing in the various places. This would help them improve their own financial condition as well as promote the GDP of the country. Thirdly, they could just provide employment.
All right.
Sir, a point of personal privilege.
Yes, delegate.
So the doctor made a very severe claim, which I think he failed to mention this time. So the doctor claimed that the government is has been waging unnecessary wars instead of focusing on the economy.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to interject.
So can I please get an interjection because he mentioned that we should. He mentioned something about China which needs to be addressed at present.
Sir is facing certain network issues. I think so.
Yes. Now I can. Array, I had some fluctuation.
So
Yeah.
it's okay.
So no more interjections will be entertained. Yes. Sanchari ma'am was here itself. Please, delegates, please acknowledge the presence of Sanchari ma'am, the teacher coordinator for our MUN club, and
Thank
also the
you.
event
Carry
head.
on. I'll be coming and going on and off, so you don't get disturbed by my presence. Carry on. Thank you.
No, ma'am. It's a pleasure. All right. So we have exhausted the 10 minutes under the open floor. Now we'll be reverting back to the GSL. We'll entertain.
Sir,
one or-
extension.
No more extensions will be entertained. We'll revert back to the GSL. We'll have 1 or 2 speeches, after which we'll break for lunch, since the committee session is still 1 o'clock itself. So
point of personal privilege, could the list of the general speakers list be said?
yes, the speakers in order are farmer, diplomat, musician, BJP. If you want to add your name to the GSL, please.
Sir, I guess you missed out vegetable vendor.
Oh yes, vegetable vendor, farmer, diplomat, musician, BJP, Indian National Congress, journalist, doctor. All right. So yeah, vegetable vendor, you have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
Chair, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
First of all, we would like to urge the entire committee, as well as the government officials, as well as our fellow citizens, to provide endless support to the Bring Them Back campaign brought about by the NASV, that is the National Association of Street Vendors of India, who have already helped thousands of vendors. This association has brought back thousands of street vendors back to their livelihood, so that they can once again live in peace and lead the society in harmony. This campaign is being currently pursued and will effectively provide a helpful solution to vendors throughout India. Also, we would like to pursue the fact that during the lockdown period, our sales had been drastically reduced by 60 to 80%, and we had to take up loans of 25,000 to 30,000 just to keep our business. Hence now post lockdown, we are being forced, or rather we are being accused of elevating our prices, but we must understand that these prices must be elevated so that we can overcome our hindrance, and so that we can overcome the loans we have been taken, and so that we can live peacefully.
All right. You had about 5 seconds left. Are there any questions? POIs on the vegetable vendor speech? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next speaker. That is the farmer.
Now, delegates understand that India has lost 36% of its total agro production, or food production. Now, 36% isn't a joke. Now, understand that the farmers are the people who are actual here the society. It contributes around 78% of Indian population. Secondly, if not a proper schemes are taken, food prices will increase, and if food prices increase, all sections of the society will be affected. Now understand that be it the previous government, be it now government, they have made various schemes, but we common farmers haven't received 50% of the money. Now what our beloved finance minister has said, that they have started schemes from which farmers can take loans, but understand that the situation in which the farmers are, they don't even know that they will have money to live food, and they are scared of taking loans. Rather than taking loans, what I propose is that the government sets up a very pre-planned manner in which the money which is proposed reaches the people, the bank, the actual common farmers account, and the measures which various countries have taken, such as decreasing the costing of seeds, plus giving better facilities to the farmers, and giving a fixed price for the goods. Now, moreover, there is a Farmer Bills 2020 present, which is creating a much more harm in the production and is actually benefiting the very fraction society of the farmers. And with the current imposition of Farmers Bill plus the current scenario of the pandemic situation, the farmers have no way to go, and they seek government's opinion on it and want government to change their lives and seek reforms for them as soon as possible.
All right. Since you have no time left, we would not be entertaining any POIs. You can use the group. The next speaker is the diplomat.
Okay, sir. So speaking about the fact that many of the people here, presently the doctor, is saying that we should open a bilateral trade relations again with China. Seeing that after the loss of our 20 soldiers in the Galman Valley due to the border skirmish war that took place on July 4th, India is in no hurry to forget about the death of its 20 soldiers. And if there is a path of patriotism in anybody's heart right now, like like all the Indians have, they have been allegedly forcing that they don't want to get into a bilateral trade relations with China. So and they want to pursue with Make in India, with projects such as Make in India, Local for Local, and DAP. They want to vocal that. They even want to pursue. They want to even boycott every single Chinese goods they can, in order to make India more self-reliant and promote the policy of Atmanirbhar Bharat, which the government portrays. Thank you.
All right. We can entertain questions. We can entertain 2 POIs on that speech. Delegates wishing to ask questions. Representative of BJP followed by the vegetable vendor. Representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party, are you here?
Yes, sir.
You were recognized for a POI, delegate.
No, sir. So that was for the
Sir,
previous.
he actually stated for the previous.
Yes, sir.
All right. Vegetable vendor, you have a POI?
Sir, you mentioned in your fact that Make in India should be implemented and it should be focused upon. Could you reiterate on it? Like, do you think should be the steps for this?
So for Make in India, especially since we have boycotted our bilateral relations with China, the industries are looked upon favorably to use the products, raw materials present in India rather than relying on the Chinese products and apps or help. They were supporting a true spirit of the growth of Indian industries. Furthermore, even if you take the example of one of our most popular Indian manufacturing cycle brand, which is Hero Cycles, they cancelled a 900 crore deal which it was supposed to enter with China, thereby portraying a true message for the spread of this particular message that our government is trying to portray, that boycott China, Make in India, use Indian resources in order to make us more self-reliant and portray the message of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
All right. All right. We'll move on to the last speaker for now, after which we'll break for lunch. So the last speaker of the general speakers list would be the musician. You have the floor for the next 90 seconds.
So the economic impact of pandemic in India has been largely disruptive. India's growth in the year 2020 had went down to 3.1%, not only due to COVID-19 pandemic, but also unplanned lockdown and the failed policies before. So what is this outcome? Its outcome is sharp rise in unemployment, stress on supply chains, decrease in government income, collapse of tourism industry, collapse of hospitality industry, reduced consumer activity, plunge in fuel consumption, rise in LPG sales. So now the steps need to be taken by the government. It should ensure people's livelihood and should give them direct cash assistance as like the backward classes, migrants, those who are suffering for daily to daily wage. What about those who earn daily livelihood and for daily? They are in such trouble. It should make adequate capital for business through which employment can be generated. It should fix the financial sector through institutional autonomy and process. It should let the state go on infrastructure projects which would let employment boost, which would allow jobs to create.
All right. We can entertain one question. Seeing only one, that is a representative of the BJP, you can ask your question.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, the musician very much stressed upon the unplanned lockdown. So, I would like to ask him that what does he really consider a planned lockdown to be? That is, does he expect the government to give a 1 month prior notice, allow everyone to crowd, allow everyone to rush in the markets, allow everyone to buy as much as necessities as they can, and reducing the stocks, creating further damage in the future? Does this what he calls as a planned lockdown? Because it was an unplanned lockdown. He doesn't know the hours of planning which had to go in the cabinet before imposing that lockdown, which was very imperative upon it.
Sir. I'm saying that you can give a 4-day holiday for a 1-day Janta curfew, and you can only give 4 hours for the first nationwide lockdown. You are only thinking of the upper classes. You don't think about the lower classes who cannot even cover their daily wages. How will they get the necessary item in just 4 hours and stay in the lockdown? You need to think about the lower classes also. The India's population considers of mostly of them.
All right.
Sir,
With
please
that-
to follow up. Please, sir.
Not granted.
Okay, sir.
With that, we have come to the end of the first committee session for the Citizens Dialogue Forum. We'll now be breaking for lunch, but the thing is, after the lunch, I'll try to come up with an update. All right. So you guys can address that. And obviously, I think you guys had a plan of action from before. All
So
right,
since
then
I'm
I'll
a-
forward with that as well. But I'll try and
Delegates,
please mute yourself for a minute.
Mr. President, Mr. Narendra Modi.
Wait.
Since I'm-
Delegate, 1 second. Let me explain the whole thing. So, delegates, what we are going to have right now is basically an interrogation session with the Prime Minister of India. Now, and that is Narendra Modi. Before that, delegates, please acknowledge the presence of Sanchita ma'am with us.
Thank you so much, Vito. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am. Yeah. So we are going to have an interrogative session with the Prime Minister of India. All of the delegates are representing a particular profession, and you have to ask and present forward your grievances to the Prime Minister of India, one at a time. Now we'll start off with the diplomat. Please shoot.
So since I'm a diplomat, I would like to ask a basic question first. That since we have already suspended our bilateral trade relations with China itself after the Galwan Valley war, so do you think that it will be a great opportunity for startups to rise in India to the occasion?
Can you repeat your question?
Wait.
Yeah, please, guys. If not crucial, then interesting. Yeah.
Musician, I have my video on.
And just a heads up, this is a bilingual committee. You're also allowed to use the official languages of India and all the working languages, the official languages. Yeah,
Right.
and all of you take note. You all can ask questions in any language which is recognized by the Indian Constitution.
Also, you are not
And-
restricted to the umbrella agenda here. You can just ask anything pertaining to the contemporary world and the issues surrounding India itself. So, all right, without any ado, we'll start. Diplomat, please repeat your question.
So, sir, I asked a basically question. So, since that we have suspended our bilateral trade relations with China after the Galwan Valley war, so do you think that it will be a great opportunity for startups in India to rise to the occasion and key infrastructure development to rise, since the government has promised to grant 100 million job opportunities to the construction employment?
All right. To answer to that, I'd say that the government of India banned 59 applications because मुझे पता है कि मेरे देश के लोगों में एक बात है जो हमें चाइनीज से नहीं लेनी पड़ेगी, ये चीजें हम खुद कर सकते हैं. और जब हम कहते हैं कि हम कुछ कर सकते हैं, मेरा देश कुछ कर सकता है, हमें वो लोकल के लिए वोकल होना पड़ेगा, हमें आत्मनिर्भर बनना पड़ेगा, बहुत सोचे लाने पड़ेंगी हमारे देश में, लेकिन चाइना के चीजें नहीं लाने पड़ेंगी कभी.
All right. Before that, delegates, please acknowledge the presence of Sharmila ma'am with us.
Please carry on. All the best. All the best.
Yes,
carry
ma'am,
on,
thank
please.
you.
Thank you.
So the next delegate that we have to ask questions, no, we won't be allowing follow-ups on that, diplomat, because I think that was well answered. The next delegate who would be asking the question is the vegetable vendor. Delegate, if you are with us, then please put forward your question. All right. Seeing no response, we'll move on to the representative of the Indian National Congress.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so first of my questions, as Modi has, as the Prime Minister has said that we have to be local for vocal, the setting up of the PM Cares Fund, which is a form of centralized funding. Sir, setting up of a centralized funding will hurt other players, other different research institutions, academia and private sector. So, sir, why is a centralized funding system being set up during a COVID-19, a pandemic crisis, when we need as much as solutions possible from all the different sectors present in the society?
देखिए, अभी आप जो सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, हमें बताने दीजिए कि आपकी सरकार जो थी, वो आपकी सरकार ने जो किया है हमारे देश में जो this is not the representative of INC, this is the vegetable vendor.
No, this is the representative of the INC.
Okay. आपकी सरकार ने देश में जो किया है, जो पारिवारिक राजनीति चलाई है कांग्रेस ने हमारे देश में सालों से, आज अगर हमारे देश में ऐसे चीजों अच्छे से नहीं चलते हैं, क्योंकि वो कांग्रेस के पॉलिटिकल एनवायरनमेंट, इकोनॉमिकल एनवायरनमेंट और सोशल एनवायरनमेंट जो कांग्रेस सेट करके गए हैं, उसके वजह से ये चीज आज हमारे गवर्नमेंट को इम्प्लीमेंट करने में प्रॉब्लम होती है. क्योंकि देश की जो हालत अभी है, वो बहुत कारण से, बहुत मोदी सरकार ने बहुत नए परिवर्तन लाए हैं पहले के और जो पीएम केयर्स की बात है, पीएम केयर्स की चिंता आप ना करें. हमको भी पता है, हमारी सरकार में बहुत मान्यता है कि हम भी पीएम केयर्स चीज को अच्छे से संभाल सकते हैं. और ये सवाल कांग्रेस की आदत है जुमला बनाना, कांग्रेस की आदत है झमेलाबाजी में जाना. लेकिन हम कहेंगे कि हमें हमारा काम करने दीजिए, आप देखते रहिए और आप बस देखते ही रहिए. शुक्रिया.
Follow up is granted, representative of the INC.
सर, हम ये नहीं बोल रहे कि आप एक सेंट्रलाइज्ड मतलब एक फंडिंग सिस्टम को प्रमोट मत कीजिए. आप खुद पिछले कई महीनों से ये बोल रहे हैं कि हमको हर एक सेक्टर अपने कंट्री में हमको अपना खुद का डेवलपमेंट चाहिए. फिर आप क्यों एक सिंपल अपने हर एक सेक्टर को इन्वॉल्व ना करके एक फंड सेटअप कर रहे हैं जिसमें सारा काला धन सफेद हो सके, सब लोग इसमें दे और इस पर्टिकुलर फंड के बारे में सबको पता भी ना हो।
अब देखिए,
alright, before you answer Arth, please acknowledge the presence of Dhrubani ma'am with us.
Sir, thank you, core committee, everyone. Continue, please continue with your things.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. आप काले धन की बात करते हैं, आप सोच रहे हैं कि इस पीएम केयर्स फंड से इंसान अपना काला धन सफेद करा सकता है। ये आइडिया भी आप ही के दिमाग में आता है, जो दिखाता है कि कांग्रेस की सोच क्या है। मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा आज।
All right, no more follow-ups. Pretty.
Chair, could I have my speech? Chair, could I have my speech?
No, sir. We are in an interrogative session with the Prime Minister of India. You guys have to ask questions to the Prime Minister. Now, interestingly, it's your turn. Yeah. It's your turn itself. Now, the vegetable vendor would be asking the question to the Prime Minister of India. Go ahead, shoot.
Sir, being a very, I have a very humble question. Being a humble vegetable vendor, sir, if you were to be in my shoes, sir, do you possibly think that 1,000 crores is enough for 50 lakh vendors? Many of them have been permanently evicted, and who knows when they will be again be given the opportunity to stand up and do their business, renew their business. So, do you think it's enough for them?
देखिए जनाब, अब आप बोल रहे हैं आप एक हम्बल सब्जी वाले हैं, हम भी आपके हम्बल प्रधानमंत्री है। और एक बात जान के रखिए, आप जो भी करेंगे हमारी सरकार आपके साथ है। हमारी सरकार बहुत सारी योजनाएं ला रही है आपके लिए। हमारी सरकार सब्जियों के दाम लेके बहुत विचार प्रचार में जुड़े हुए हैं हमारे सरकार के व्यक्ति बहुत सारे। और जो 1,000 करोड़ का जो आप अभी आंकड़ा हमारे सामने रखे हैं, बात है कि हमारे नीति आयोग और थिंक टैंक सरकार के अंडर जो फंड मैनेजमेंट करती है, हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि नीति आयोग जो प्लानिंग करती है फंड्स लेके, आज आप शहर में बोलिए, आज आप कहीं भी बोलिए भारत में, नीति आयोग की प्लानिंग कभी फेल नहीं होती। और प्रधानमंत्री होने के नाते मैं नीति आयोग पे पूरा भरोसा रखूंगा और आपको इस देश के नागरिक होने के नाते आपको भी कहूंगा कि नीति आयोग पे पूरा भरोसा रखें, क्योंकि नीति आयोग बदलाव लाएगा।
All right, with that answered, next asking the question would be the journalist. Journalist, if you're with us.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question will be, the hostility in Kashmir has persisted for over a year now. So how do you and how does your government plan on assuaging the situation in Kashmir?
अब क्या ही बताए, कश्मीर हमारे देश की मुकुट जैसी है कश्मीर। अब कश्मीर में हमारे जो जवान हैं वो बहुत काम कर रहे हैं और मैं पूरा भरोसा रखता हूं कि हमारे जवान कश्मीर में बदलाव लाएंगे। ये जो पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादी है, ये जो चाइनीज स्पॉन्सर्ड आतंकवादी है, यही कारण है आज कश्मीर के इस हालत के वजह से। और प्रधानमंत्री होने के नाते मैं आपसे वादा करता हूं मित्रों कि आतंक को मैं इस देश से हटाऊंगा और कश्मीर भी एक दिन वापस सुंदर होगा। और कश्मीर भारत का है और भारतीय सरकार कुछ भी करेगी अपने मुकुट को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए। देखो, और पाकिस्तानियों से साफ तरीके से हम भारतीय को कह देना चाहिए कि दूध मांगोगे तो खीर देंगे, कश्मीर मांगोगे तो चीर देंगे।
On that note, the next person who would be asking the question is the farmer. Go ahead. Yes.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, मेरा आपसे यह प्रश्न है, आपके गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत सारे स्कीम्स, बहुत सारे ये लाए, इवन आफ्टर दैट इंडिया हैज annual loss of 36% in its annual growth, plus moreover more than 55 acres of land has been wasted due to the improper management of lockdown, plus due to the different ongoing things like floods and stuff. How is your government planning to revitalize the situation of farmers, plus with the introduction of Farmers Bill 2020?
हमारी सरकार जो है बहुत तरीके से मानती है एक कहावत पे, जय जवान जय किसान। और आज हम बहुत खुश है कि आप अपने किसान भाइयों के लिए इधर अपनी आवाज उठा रहे हैं और हमारी सरकार भी आपके साथ है। अब जो फंड मैनेजमेंट है एग्रीकल्चर के तरफ, हमारे किसानों के तरफ, ये सरकार उस बात पे हमेशा विचार करती है, हमेशा बातें करती है। हमारे कैबिनेट में हमेशा बातें होती रहती है इसका बात को लेके। और हमारे बहुत लोगों अभी देश में जो सिचुएशन है फार्मर लेके, जो फार्मर के सुसाइड्स हमारे पास खबर में आ रहे हैं, वो कमाने के ट्राई कर रहे हैं। और हमारे सबसे ऊपरी कामों में से है हमारे देश के किसानों को खुश रखना, क्योंकि देश के जवान बिना और देश के किसान बिना एक देश नहीं बन सकता है।
Yes, follow up granted farmer.
तो प्रधानमंत्री जी अपने फिनांस मिनिस्टर की तरह बहुत कुछ प्रॉमिस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन एज पर द एनुअल रिपोर्ट हम किसानों के पास आपके स्कीम से आधा भी पैसा नहीं मिला है। और उसके ऊपर आपके आदरणीय फिनांस मिनिस्टर निर्मला सीतारमण जी बोल रहे हैं कि हम गवर्नमेंट से लोन ले, उसके ऊपर भी हम लोग बैंकक्रप्ट है, हम गवर्नमेंट से लोन ले, रादर देन गवर्नमेंट हमें फ्री में पैसा दे जो हम अपने किसान मतलब खेती के लिए यूज कर सके।
देखिए जनाब, अब आप अगर सरकार को अलग मानेंगे, अपनी ओपोनेंट मानेंगे, तब सरकार भी आपकी मदद कभी नहीं कर पाएगी। आपको सरकार के साथ चलना पड़ेगा। आज अगर आप सरकार की मदद लेने में, सरकार मदद देने के बावजूद भी उस मदद में खोट निकालते हैं, तब हमको कुछ कहने के लिए आज बाकी नहीं रहता। क्योंकि हमारी सरकार, मैं पूरे विश्वास के साथ कह सकता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जो सरकार है आज हमारे देश के किसानों के लिए लड़ रही है। और जब तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार बनाए जाएगी, हम अपने जवानों के लिए, किसानों के लिए और इंसानों के लिए लड़ाई चालू रखेंगे।
All right, next in line we have the doctor.
भारत के देश के प्रधानमंत्री को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं आपसे ये क्वेश्चन करना चाहता हूँ कि 2008 से 2011 के बीच में पूरे देश भर में 1 करोड़ टॉयलेट बने थे, शौचालय बने थे, लेकिन 2015 से 2016 के बीच में सिर्फ 80 लाख शौचालय बनाए गए थे। साथ ही साथ यह भी देखा गया है कि हर 10 शौचालय में से 6 शौचालयों में पानी की सुविधा नहीं पाई जाती है। तो इससे आप स्वच्छ भारत पे क्या अपना प्रकोप देना चाहेंगे?
भाई साहब, सबसे पहले तो आपको एक बात कहने दीजिए, आपकी जो न्यूज है उसके लिए हमारे पास बस एक ही शब्द है, जो है फेक। और जो बात आप कह रहे हैं कि सरकार ने शौचालय नहीं बनाए, 80 लाख शौचालय बनाए, और अगर 1 करोड़ शौचालय पहले से बने हुए थे तब सरकार को और 1 करोड़ बनाने की क्या जरूरत थी? सरकार उसी शौचालयों को वापस और बेहतर करने की सोच रखती है। सरकार जो है हमारे पास, स्ट्रेंथनिंग बोलते हैं इसको अंग्रेजी में, जो आप कह रहे हैं, आज अगर शौचालय पहले से थे तो सरकार क्यों नहीं बनाए? और हमें पूरा भरोसा है कि मोदी सरकार हर जगह, जहां पर भी मोदी सरकार के पास या भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार जिस स्टेट में भी बनी है, उस स्टेट में ये प्रॉब्लम्स की कमी होती जा रही है और आने वाले कल में होती जाएंगी।
All right, lastly we have the lawyer who would be the final person asking the question.
Sir, मुझे अपने चैनल
Oh, अच्छा. We also have the representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party. and the musician. All right, we'll first start off with the representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Please ask your question.
Thank you, sir. Sir, considering the fact that the election rallies or any other rallies conducted by BJP are or every time productive and peaceful, and to be precise, during COVID-19, each time the rallies had followed each and every precautionary measures. But then, even before lockdown or before COVID-19 and during COVID-19, in these rallies, miscreants come in. They invade these rallies and they either make the precautionary measures, or previously they used to do violence, which created a bad impact on the reputation of the Bharatiya Janata Party. What does and this is very disturbing because the BJP representatives have to face a lot of questions via others, which something the BJP workers have not done. तो हमारी सरकार के इस पे क्या
देखो अब अगर
Arth, before you answer, delegates, please acknowledge the presence of Anirban sir with us. All right, you can continue.
अब देखिए, अगर देश में अच्छाई है तो देश में बुराई भी है। हमारे काम को, हमारे प्रचार को, हमारे प्रोग्राम ऑफ एक्शन को बहुत कीड़े आएंगे बीच में, लेकिन हमें याद रखना है कि इन कीड़ों को कैसे खत्म करना पड़ता है। हमने पाकिस्तान जैसे कीड़ों को खत्म किया, और हमारे देश के अंदर जब देश की विकास को रोकने के लिए ये लोग हमारे काम में दखल देते हैं, तो ये इनकी गलती है जनाब, हमारी नहीं। और अगर आज आपको कोई भी सवाल पूछे, आपको पता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी किस चीज के लिए बनी थी और किस चीज के लिए हम काम करते जाते हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो वैल्यूज है, हम जिस तरीके से हर बात में राय रखते हैं अपनी, उनको जानने दीजिए ये सब बातें, क्योंकि हमारी जो सोच है उसमें दखल लोग देंगे, लेकिन फिर भी हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि हम ही सरकार बनाते जा रहे हैं। हमारे पास ही मैक्सिमम वोट्स है इस भारत में, और हमारे पास ही मैक्सिमम सपोर्ट है। क्यों? क्योंकि अगर कुछ भारतीय भी, मुझे भरोसा है, अभी उनमें शायद सोचने की कमी है, अभी शायद उनमें सोच की कमी है, उनमें इंसाइट नहीं है, लेकिन एक दिन वो भी समझेंगे कि प्रधानमंत्री मोदी की सरकार और भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो पूरे देश में करते आ रही है, बस और बस देश के विकास के लिए ही है।
All right, we'll move on. The next person to ask the question would be the musician.
नमस्ते प्रधानमंत्री जी। मेरा सवाल ये है, why is the government not withdrawing projects like Central Vista, which cost a lot of huge sum of money, and divert the funds to COVID-19 pandemic help, as the Central Vista ambitious plan of pipelines is not that urgent as of the COVID-19 pandemic.
देखिए, अब जो अर्जेंसी की बात है, ये बहुत एक सब्जेक्टिव बात हो जाती है। जो आप कह रहे हैं पाइपलाइन की बात, अब आज जो उठी है इस मीटिंग में, अब हमारे लिए आज प्रधानमंत्री होने के नाते, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रमुख होने के नाते, हमारे जो मतलब देश की जो अभी हालत है, अर्जेंसी की जो बात है, जो प्रायोरिटी की बात है, हम कैबिनेट में हर बात लेके अपने राय रखते हैं, हर बात लेके अपना प्लान ऑफ एक्शन विचार करते हैं, लेकिन इस बात में जो प्लान की आप बात कर रहे हैं वो हम विड्रॉ क्यों करेंगे? अगर कोई प्लान कैबिनेट को अच्छा लगता है, अगर वो प्लान कैबिनेट को लगता है कि देश के लिए वो मान्यता का बात है, तो हम क्यों उस डॉक्यूमेंट को या क्यों उस स्कीम को, योजना जो सरकार बनाई है आप ही के मदद के लिए, क्यों उसको हटाए? वो आ जाए या कल आए या परसों आए, वो आ रहा है, वही बड़ा बात है। इसके टाइम आता भी नहीं था, एटलीस्ट इस बार आ रहा है। वही विश्वास हम आपको बनाए रखने चलेंगे, और जो बातें हैं और भी जो इश्यूज है हमारे सोसाइटी की, हमारे सरकार वो भी पूरी तरह से को खत्म करने की ट्राई करेंगे। थैंक यू सर।
And lastly, we have the lawyer.
Good afternoon, sir. This is lawyer. So in Uttar Pradesh, one of your minister, Ajit Singh Pal, on Friday described that a gang rape of a 19-year-old Hathras woman and the subsequent death as a small issue. मेरा एक आपसे क्वेश्चन है, इसको आप स्मॉल इशू कैसे बोल सकते हैं? ये आपका पार्टी का ही एक मेंबर है, तो आपसे मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, ऐसा इशू को अगर स्मॉल बनाते बोलेंगे तो अपना वुमेन का सेफ्टी इंडिया में हम लोग कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं?
देखिए जनाब, अब बात है कि हमारे जो पार्टी है, एक टाइम था, आपको याद है, जब यूपी में योगी जी लेके एक कंट्रोवर्सी हुआ था। मतलब जब योगी जी पावर में आए थे तो कंट्रोवर्सीज होते रहते हैं, मिनिस्टर, एमपी, एमएलए इधर उधर की बातें वो करते हैं कभी कभार, लेकिन हमारे पार्टी के जो आदर्श है, हम कहना चाहेंगे कि हमारी पार्टी कभी भी डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस, कभी भी ऐसे इश्यूज को स्मॉल नहीं ठहराती है। हमारे लिए ये इश्यूज मेजर इश्यूज है, मेजर प्रायोरिटाइज्ड इश्यूज है हमारे सरकार के लिए, और हमारी सरकार पूरी कमिटमेंट के साथ कह सकती है कि देश में डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस का खात्मा करने का काम सरकार ने चालू रखा है, और जब तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार बनाते जाएंगी तब तक ये लड़ाई चालू रहने वाली है।
So with that, and with all the professions being addressed, the discrepancies, and the Prime Minister having addressed all of the professions and all of the questions of the different citizens of India, lastly, I would request Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, to address the entire Citizens Dialogue Forum with the last address. Go ahead.
मित्रों, आप सबका इस सिटीजन्स डायलॉग में स्वागत है। हमारे सरकार, हमारे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव से ये सिटीजन्स डायलॉग ऑर्गेनाइज कराती है, चाहते कि हमें आपके जो प्रॉब्लम्स है, आपके जो डेली लाइफ में इश्यूज है, उसके बारे में हमें पता चले एकदम आपसे ही कि आपकी कठिनाइयां क्या है, और सरकार उस बारे में, उस आपके कठिनाइयों को हटाने के लिए सरकार फुल तरीके से काम करेगी। ये सरकार का वादा है। आज मैं एक ही चीज आपसे कहना चाहूंगा, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ, हमारे देश के साथ अगर आज आप खड़े होते हैं तो 5 साल में भारत ऐसे जगह चली जाएगी, भारत ऑलरेडी ऐसे जगह पे है जो पहले कभी नहीं थी, और भारत और 5 साल में ऐसे एक स्थान पा लेगी जहां कोई भी देश इस दुनिया का भारत पे उंगली नहीं उठा पाएगा। और वही दिन देखना है हमें, वही दिन का इंतजार है हमें। शुक्रिया आप लोगों को।
Thank you, Mr. Prime
मेरे
Minister.
भारतवासी हमेशा खुश रहना।
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. With that, and with that positive note, we'll revert back to the normal committee proceedings. We'll revert back to the GSL.
Finally.
Yeah. Thank you, Earth, for coming and addressing.
One applaud the way he answered the questions without even knowing who he was posing the questions.